What's happening, Wisdom Warriors? Back at it for another video. Are you ready for this one? Well, so listen, I'm going to start off with this video with something that occurred to me and happened this morning. And it happened, and I probably talked about it on previous videos, but I'm not 100% sure. But I'm going to speak about it because it sucks. And yet I'm going through a class that I'm taking on Activation 21, I think it's called, if I'm not mistaken, with Lori. And so I'm going to just be aware and say, I am aware of what I'm experiencing. And so basically I probably woke up around 1:30 or so in the morning. Usually I've been waking up at 3 or 2 or 4, but mostly like probably like 3. And so then I begin my practice of meditation and yoga and breath work and all that stuff, and which I've spoke about on here previously. And so when I woke up at 1:30, everything was fine. I I began to meditate for an hour, and then I did some other practice, and then some other practice, and then roughly about, I think it was about 8 o'clock or so, I was getting ready to do breath work. And mind you, prior to the 8 o'clock or 8:30 or so, around that time, I was laying down. I was laying on my left side and my right side, and everything was fine. And well, as fine as it's going to be compared to what I experienced at like 8 or so when I laid down flat to do the breath work, the room started spinning. And it hasn't happened in over a month or more. And I was like, oh shit, like it's back. And the only conclusion that I could come up with at the time, over a month or so ago, because it was back in December, actually. Yeah, it was back in December. So, a couple months. But it roughly went into, I think, the beginning of January. So it's not totally a couple months, but that's roughly when it started, was back in December, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And literally, when I was laying there, I'm like, oh my God, I jumped right back up. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, what happened all morning and last night? I didn't experience it. And so I couldn't do my breath work because the room was spinning too much. And so then I did a little bit of yoga, and I attempted to lay down again and I didn't experience it. And then it started all of a sudden. It wasn't like before, where the last time where it was consistent. Anytime I laid down and I laid on a certain side, it would happen. And so this time, and I felt kind of off, or like a not really balanced totally. And so, before that happened, and another thing I was noticing is my right ear was itching, which, usually signifies like healing, but, I'm not really sure, in this case, because I can't really look inside my ear, and the last time I was told it was ear infections on both sides. Um, and that's why I'm like, oh my God, like it's back. So I began to, just, do all my stuff, my preparation for the week, which I make like raw salads and I do like four of them. I have these four bowls, and I put like onions and garlic and spinach and red cabbage and green cabbage and did I say onions? I think I did. Carrots, I'm trying to think, kale. I put all of that, and I create sprouts, sunflower sprouts. I that's my dinner, and aside from I have hummus, and I have sometimes like last night I had three bean soup, which had kidney beans and two other beans. So I kind of mix it up a little bit here and there. And then I found this quinoa pasta, which is probably by far the best pasta I've found yet that is not made with flour. It's made with quinoa, which is interesting. And actually, compared to like these other pastas, like the vegetable pastas and the I forget, Bonza. I think it's called Bonza, which is I think chickpeas. All of those don't taste like real pasta. Even the almond flour pasta, it sticks together. It doesn't really come out that great when you make it. But I'll tell you what, this quinoa pasta is unbelievable. If you haven't tried it, check it out. And it's basically only has quinoa and I think rice flour, if I'm not mistaken. Those are really the only two ingredients. It's not. It doesn't stick together. It tastes like real pasta, just about. It's pretty amazing what they've done. Let's just say. Um, so um, so yeah, I wanted to but anyways, getting back to yeah, I made the salads for the week, which is one for tonight, one for tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday, and then I make another four, and that's kind of how. So it's already prepared in the fridge, and I just take it out, and that's part of my dinner. So because I'm vegan, and I've gone vegan, and uh, you know I don't eat meat basically, or milk products, or eggs, or any of that stuff anymore. Um, so getting back to what I was saying, so then a little later on, so then yeah, I was doing all of that. I made some wheatgrass. I had like two or 4 ounces of wheatgrass shot. If you don't know what that is, I have a previous video with the juicer, the wheatgrass juicer that you could watch, and also I think I made a short when I was juicing it, so you can see the packaging and everything, and then you can look it up if you want. It's the most amazing healing stuff you can, just amazing. Like it can do so much for you. Just look up the benefits of wheatgrass. It's some powerful stuff. Let me just tell you. Anyways, I speak about that on some other videos. You can check it out on my chat on the channel. Anyways, getting back. So then I would venture to say, I don't know, after all that was done, it was probably like 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock or something like that. And then what I decided to do is lay on my side and begin to do the breath work again. But I laid on my side first. I closed my eyes to see if the room was spinning. It didn't seem to happen. So then I laid flat with my face facing upward. And when I did that, it seemed fine. I didn't experience the room spinning. And then I started breath work. I did a shorter session because it was later in the day. So I did like a 27-minute, or it was 37, I think. And then the breath work was probably 15 minutes. In the middle of the breath work, the room started spinning. Well, so what I did was I stopped and I just allowed it. I didn't get up. I allowed it to spin, and it didn't go for too long before it stopped. And then I started breath work again. And then I was able to complete the breath work session without the spinning. And I laid there and felt the amazing sensations and feelings that come up during breath work and how powerful it is. And I just enjoyed the just basked in it and let it just happen. Then I got up and I felt like kind of off. I just felt off. I felt wobbly, and I got the intuition, or I got a feeling that I should go out in nature. And I thought, let me go to the lake and maybe I'll sit down there on the grass and ground myself. I need grounding, I think, because after the two major things that I did this week, going over and moving things around at this house that I haven't been to in 2 years, bringing stuff over there, organizing things, all of that stuff. It was a lot for me to take in. My dad had a part in that place, helping me and all of that. We were there doing stuff together, moving drywall and things like that. And this was obviously before he started to decline and before he passed. So it was a lot, and it was heavy, and it was, there's a lot that's connected to it, a lot with a lot of different people. And so it was a lot. And I went there twice this week. And yesterday I went there again. Yesterday was the second day back. And I did a lot there. I moved a lot of stuff around and organized things and whatnot, and contacted two contractors, and to get things moving. And then all of a sudden this morning this occurs. And like I said, it was later on after I already had woke up. And so I went to the lake. I put this blanket down that I have that I never used. It looks like a suitcase, but it's cloth, and you unzip it, and then it turns into like this really nice material blanket, like you could have a picnic on it, type of thing. And I sat on there and I cracked open the tarot cards and I started shuffling them, and I began to lay them out, pull cards like in a row of five. And then I went through the booklet and I read the meanings of each card that I pulled, and I was listening to my gut, my intuition on what came through and how I felt. Somebody reached out to me in a really beautiful email, uh, and we met probably over a year ago online through a platform, a social media platform, which I don't think I've spoke about it on here too much, but it will be discussed on some other um, venture that I'm working on with somebody. It has been spoken of on there. But anyways, we met, all of us, over a year ago, probably now, and she did a tarot reading for me, and she reached out to me after seeing my video from yesterday and gave me some amazing information. And I'm so grateful for her reaching out and just giving me this knowledge and this just profound stuff that made me look at myself too, and made me um, see things that maybe I need to look at, and I believe nothing is an accident, as I've talked about on here many, many times. I believe people are meant to come into our lives for a reason. And she's a beautiful soul, let's just say that. And she also mentioned to me that um, I'm not, she wasn't able to comment on the videos. And I found out and realized, which I'm glad I'm coming to this point because I wanted to mention this in this video. If you've been trying to comment on any videos, and I know I've been telling everybody to subscribe and like and share and comment, I come to find out she mentioned that she's not able to, and I looked into it. Come to find out, a lot of the videos, pretty much almost all of them, were set to made for kids, and that then wouldn't allow it. It then disabled the comments. I did not know that. I was unaware of that. That if you make the video um, for kids, that they will disable the comments. And I didn't know that. I mean, some of the videos people were commenting on. That's why I was like, okay, like I don't think anything's wrong here. But then to hear that, and so what I basically did, that's what I did before I made my food and everything for the week or for the next 4 days. I was I was turning off Made for Kids, and I was enabling and allowing the comments. So now, if you would, you know who you are. If you're watching this video, you can now comment, and you now have the ability to comment. And thank you so much for letting me know, because God, I could have been up to like 500 videos and had all the comments disabled and would have had to sit there going through all of them. Not that this was easy. I mean, there's over 80 something videos now on here between shorts and regular content, and I had to enable all of them and turn off Made for Kids, and it was it was kind of frustrating, and but I sat with the awareness, and I was aware of it being frustrated, and basically what I've now been learning, which I'm going to teach you guys all right now, is to notice whatever you're doing, whatever you're experiencing in your body outside of yourself. You just need to say, I am aware of the pain in my body. And then just listen, man, and just sit with it and just listen around you. This brings you into the observer mode, where you begin to start to train yourself to observe everything and be the observer. I am aware of the plane flying over my head outside. I'm aware of my breath going in and out. I'm aware of the anxiety I'm experiencing. I'm just giving you examples of different ways you can use this practice. And the more and more you do it, the more and more you're going to become the observer. And you're going to just observe all these situations going on. The most difficult, like she was saying, not her, but the woman Lori in the class, the teacher, uh, which is Lori Ladd. Um, she basically says that the hardest and most difficult and challenging is when you're in a conversation with somebody face to face, or you're in a restaurant setting. Because there's all kinds of noises all around you, and then you're going to say, well, I am aware of the children screaming in the restaurant. I'm aware of the parents yelling at the children. I'm aware of my breath going in and out. I'm aware of the plates that just fell on the floor that the waitress dropped. I'm aware of the food I'm eating right now. And with no judgment of any of it, you're just in awareness, and you're just making that awareness. And the more and more we do that, the more and more we step into that observer, and it becomes automatic. And then you can face the chaos and the different things going on in your life with grace and ease. You can show up in peace amongst the chaos, which is what I speak about with you guys with yoga. How I can sit there and do these really, really challenging positions, but yet, even though my body is telling me to stop and you're going to get hurt, and my ego is trying to tell me to stop, my body is at peace internally, which is so interesting and profound, that I've gotten to this place and gotten to this point in my life, because it has never been that way. It has always been anxiety internally, or fear internally, or chaos, or all those things combined. And I never was aware of it, at least most of the time. But I am an empath. I am a Cancer. We are very in touch with our emotions. We are very well, at least I'm very empathic, and a whole slew of those things, and romantic, and extremely romantic, uh, and but I never imagined myself getting on here. Even though we have a small amount of subscribers, still there's a lot of views going on, whether people are subscribed or not. And I never saw myself getting on something like this, being this vulnerable and opening myself up this much, and coming out of my shell to speak about what is going on in here and what's going on in here, and it's not easy for men to do that. Not many men, the way we've been conditioned and the way I've been conditioned and brainwashed to not have emotions, not have feelings, they're not okay, to run from that, to hide that, to not feel that. I've been taught that throughout my life from my figures that I looked up to, and just society in general. So it's not easy for men to do that. And it hasn't been easy for me. I wish that before my dad passed, that I would have been more forceful as far as opening myself up. But when I tried, he pushed me away. And I don't think it was intentional. It was just the way he was taught. And it didn't make it easy to be vulnerable and open and emotional and letting those things out and to express that. It created a lot of closed offness or closing of the heart, or and then being burned in relationships and bullying and all that kind of stuff just shuts your heart down. And you don't want to keep going, touching the stove, and be like how many more times am I going to do this and open up and then just get hurt, or just it just creates more closed offness, like I said. But I've gotten to a point where I hitting rock bottom so many times, and then the passing of my father and all of this stuff that I've experienced, the relationship I was in 2017, because mind you, it's been like 5 years, and it's not easy because I'm extremely romantic, and I am an emotional person. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I want that romance, that love. Um, that's one of the biggest things I think that is on my highest priority list, to hold hands with that beautiful soul, that beautiful woman that I hold dear to my heart, and just that human touch and that relationship and that enjoying the beautiful things that life has to offer us, and why we came here in the first place, for those things, human touch and um, just love. And you can't get that in the spiritual realm, and just the taste of food, and the sunshine on your skin. Like today when I was sitting at the lake, man, the sun felt amazing on my third eye right here, and right on the side of my head, the warmth from it, with the tinge of cool air, the cold air. Because it did drop yesterday. We got another wind of cold air that blew through, and so it's been an extremely warm winter this year, much warmer than it's ever been since I've moved here. And so, but anyways, yeah, I felt called to just open up about these things, and just walking down the beach holding hands, and just traveling the world together, laughing together, crying together, growing together, evolving together, helping each other grow, learning from each other, teaching each other stuff. All those things are what we come here to experience. And then when you don't really find that, and you just find situations that have hurt you, it is not easy to open up and keep reopening your heart. But I'm the type that never stops. I am a truth seeker. I am in search for what I came here to experience. And I came here to experience love, in so many capacities, not just one with a romantic love, but just love of friendships, love of family members, love of just relationships in general, those connections, those soul tribes, all of it. I came here to experience all of it and to shine my light bright, you know, And I have so much passion when I come on here and speak. I don't even feel like I'm thinking of the words that are coming through right now. They're just coming through because it's source. I'm in alignment. I'm in that connection with source, and it's just coming through. He's coming through me, you know? And when I come on here, I don't think about what I'm going to speak about. I've spoken about this before. I don't come on here with an agenda or something I'm going to talk about. And it's just whatever comes through. And I wasn't even sure if I was going to drop a video today. And I came back from the lake, grounded, and I needed the grounding. I needed to be out in nature. I needed to sit in nature. I needed to feel that warm sun on my third eye and on the side of my face. I just needed to feel it. I needed to breathe in the fresh air. I needed to listen to the birds. I needed to bust out the tarot deck, and just hold it in my hand and feel its energy and let it feel my energy and let it connect to me. I'm probably not going to return this deck. I actually started a return process, but I've already, opened it up. I've already used it. And I did order the other deck, which is the classic deck, which is officially by I think his name is Wright. Right, it's the Rider deck by Arthur Wright and Franklin Wright, I think his name is, if I'm not mistaken. And that's coming tomorrow, so we'll do an unpacking with that, and let's see if she mentioned to me that what was interesting, that if you watch the video from yesterday, I had a difficult time opening the deck, which I didn't think about. And then when she brought it to my attention, I'm like, oh my God, you're probably right. The deck did not want me to open it up on this channel in front of everybody. But I did, because I didn't, until she said that to me and brought that to my attention, I was like, oh my God, wow, that makes a lot of sense. I was having a hard time opening the deck. And then she gave me some intuition or intuitive stuff on the cards that were pulled, which was, I loved. I loved hearing that. It just lights me up, man. So thank you. I don't want to call you out on this because I didn't get your permission, and I don't know that you would want me to. But I appreciate everything. Just so you know who you are. Thank you. Thank you for the reading. Thank you for everything. And yes, I'm open for guidance and help in any way. I would love that. So, anyways, I'm going to call this video. Like I said, tomorrow I'm getting my new deck, and I'm getting a guidebook because she also recommended getting a book. I didn't really resonate with the book that came in here. These books that they give you in these things, doesn't really give too great of an explanation. But I found this one book that over 21,000 reviews, and I started looking at it, and it gives you a description for each category, like finance, romance, if the card's reversed or not reversed. Just and it's big size compared to these little tiny things that you got to squint to like read the damn thing. It's like ridiculous. I was straining to just read the book, and half of it don't make sense. I mean, I really didn't resonate with what they were saying in there. We'll see if the Arthur Franklin one is any better, but I'm intrigued to get this guidebook on tarot, and I'll show it up on the screen tomorrow. I'm gonna do an unpacking of the tarot deck. I'm gonna ask the tarot deck's permission and myself if that's something that I can do, and we'll see when I get it. And depending on when I get it too, maybe the following day, depending on if it's late or not. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it, because I sure got something out of it. I loved everything I talked about in here. As I said, man, more and more, the more and more I come on here, the more and more I become open and vulnerable, and I just speak what comes through, and there's not even a thought that comes through. It's just the words are coming through with passion and without draining my energy. I'm lit up. Just above the moon when I come on here and I speak and I share what my experiences have been. And I thank you all for listening. From my heart to yours, I'm truly grateful for this channel. I'm truly grateful for this platform. I'm truly grateful for all of you who have subscribed and who are watching the videos and who are liking and commenting. Now you can comment, and I'll make sure when I post them up, I say not for kids, and I allow the comments from this day going forward. So you can comment. Thank you. I'm so glad. Thank you for letting me know that. I appreciate you. Sending you so much love. And I appreciate everyone from the bottom of my heart again. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Please like, please share, please comment. There's so many others that need these messages. Thank you again. I love you. Let's go, Wisdom Warriors. We got this. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, Wisdom Warriors. We got this.